Dreams, your self-care first, productivity and time management expert, especially for working moms. As a working mom, I know that a lot of times the things we experience might be different than others who are not caregiving as well as working. And so that's really what created Beyond Your Wildest Dreams, was realizing that a lot of the things that had been working for me productivity and time management wise before I became a mom were no longer working for me. And if you're a caregiver of any kind, probably a lot of this will apply to you as well. And it is Thursday, my weekly podcast slash video cast. And today I'm going to talk about rest. And it's going to be a shorter podcast because I think the message on rest can be more succinct. So before I get started, if you're joining me for the first time, I am live. So if you have a question that I can answer, I'd be happy to. If you're listening to the recording or to the podcast, this does go up as the Harness the Power of Planning podcast. This will be episode 166. I will see those comments as well. It might just take me a little bit longer. And I am the author of these 4 short read workbooks. They take about an hour to go through. And if you feel like you just do not have enough time in the day to even listen to this podcast, then this is the book for you. 3, 2, 1, done. 3 simple strategies to get your to-do list done. And this has just recently been released as an audiobook narrated by yours truly. And you can find the links for that at bywdreams.com. It's not on all platforms. Some platforms, it takes them months to do audiobook checks. I'm not sure why, but it's on Apple, Kobo. Actually, I just recently received an email that it is available on another one, so I will need to update that, but you can go there and get it. And that book is my gift to you because it's the closest thing I know to basically creating more time in the day. So if you feel like you don't have time, that's the book for you. So today I want to talk about rest. Before I do that, I'm just going to pick a card for my little positive deck of positive chaos. I never read them in advance, but I love what they say. Ooh, speak the truth, even if your voice shakes. Unknown. Speak the truth, even if your voice shakes. And today, my truth is about rest. So, I have had a belief for, I don't know where I picked it up, but I've had it for decades, that if I hear about something from at least 3 sources, I will definitely pick up that book or look into that philosophy or learn about that technique. And I feel like now it doesn't have to be 3 times. Now, sometimes I hear something and it just immediately feels like it's for me and I pay attention to it. And this is actually how I manage my personal development, my personal and professional development in terms of what books I read. I just pay attention to what's out there, and I swear the right thing always finds me at the right time. There's a saying, I feel like it's a Buddhist saying, but I can't say for sure, that when the student is ready, the master will appear. And that has totally been my experience. And so lately, I have been studying a couple different things, and 2 different things that I'm reading, we're talking about the importance of rest. The importance of rest. And it can be hard to recognize when you need rest, especially if you're the sort of person who's just a endurance athlete of life. Like, throw it at me, I can get it done. Sure, I'll add that to my plate. If you're that sort of person, if you're the sort of person who likes to be active, who likes to be involved, that's great. But we can also, those of us who want to be involved in things, we can also sometimes have trouble saying no, or also too, not related to saying no, but sometimes we enter these periods of our lives where we're just really busy. Something is going on personally and professionally. Maybe you have a big deadline that you're working towards. And so you're just go, 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 go. And that deadline absorbs your time for enough months that it can be hard to dial it back down. And I feel like I've been closing a period where the last year where it was just go, 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 working on certain things. And I'm coming up on the summer feeling like there aren't as many things that I need to be working on, but my nervous system is still amped up. And I was feeling like I was on high alert. Like, oh, is there something that I'm missing? Because I feel like I should be working on something because that's how it's been for the last year. And so a couple of things that I've been reading were talking about the importance of rest. And one of them was very directive. It wasn't just, hey, get more rest. It was get more rest at this time. And this was specific to me, so I don't know if this is true for you, but this might be, you might have to go on your own exploration. But this thing that I've been reading recommended that for me, I should have an hour dedicated to myself in the morning and then an hour of rest in the afternoon. And it really clarified the two. It wasn't saying rest in the morning and rest in the afternoon, but it was saying in the morning, give yourself an hour to just do your own thing. And if you have read my book, Rock Your Morning, which is all about creating a morning ritual, then you'll know that I do have about an hour-long morning ritual that is a huge part of easing me into my day. And so I was like, okay, check, great. I've already got that. Been doing that for a long time. However, it did add the requirement that 1 hour, I'm not allowed to look at my phone, which, phone creep is a thing. It's like you go on just to check the weather or the time, and suddenly you're blah, 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 doing lots of things. So I am considering getting a clock just so I won't have to, because I no longer wear a Fitbit. And so I need a way to tell time. And so I'm thinking about getting a clock just so that I don't look at my phone. So I leave my phone goes into airplane mode the night before. It doesn't come out of airplane mode until, basically it's in airplane mode from about 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. most days. And so that's really been making a difference. The not looking at my phone at all for an hour has really been powerful in terms of just my mindset. It really allows me to just focus on myself. Like, for instance, some people can study or work on something while there's music going on. I find music very distracting. So I like ambient sounds, like the sound of rain falling. So I have a soundtrack where when I'm writing, I will have rain in the background to help me focus, but I can't focus to music. And so the same sort of thing with if you happen to see a text or you happen to, see a headline, that is just in the back of your mind as you're going about your morning. And so having it on airplane mode where literally the only thing I can see is, and by the way, I have most notifications silenced on my phone anyway, but can only see time on my phone has helped. So maybe I don't need to get a clock, but being in airplane mode has made a huge difference so that I don't get that little bit of, weather or the one friend who's allowed in through my notifications. So I don't get any of that in my first morning hour. And then it mandated an hour of rest in the middle of the day, which it's not optional. It was like, oh, I suggest, it's like, no, you need. And it felt like truth. And the last 2 weeks, I have been taking at least an hour-long break, like a solid hour, to either just nap or sit in the hammock and read, or just nothing productive. It specifically said you're not allowed to do productive things masquerading as rest. I was like, okay, wow, I feel like I'm being watched. So the last 2 weeks I have been resting. I've been honoring my hour in the morning, my hour in the afternoon, and it has been making a huge difference. And one of the things that this book that I've been reading said was, if you feel like you're not getting enough done, that's often a sort of nervous system message that you're allowing anxiety to kind of spin out because you're not paying attention to what your body needs. And I definitely feel like that's been true. So if this speaks to you, if you feel like, you know what, I've been needing more rest. I just don't think rest can ever really be a bad thing for a human, especially a human in modern society. Like a lot of us just don't get, with all the artificial lights and, with work schedules that might not be perfectly synchronized with our own chronotype, our internal clock. I just don't think any of us can say, wow, I'm getting so much rest. I don't need any more. I think basically we probably could all use more rest, and definitely more rest from anything that amps up our nervous system. So outside news, other people's worries, that sort of thing. The less of it, the better. So, do an internal check. Do you feel like you need more rest? And if that feels true to you, then take it and codify it into your schedule. I am loving having this 1 hour in the morning, 1 hour in the afternoon, and then I have my evening ritual. So 1 hour in the evening. So there's 3 hours just for me in my life. And I've been doing the morning and evening ritual for a long time. So my kiddo is now a teenager, but I've had these rituals since she was, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6. So yes, those first 2 to 5 years of having a child are intense, and it can be really challenging to find any sort of rhythm. And that's where, if you have a friend or a partner, someone that you are parenting with, or even a friend that you can share time with so that you can have your hour to yourself, find it. Build your systems. They don't have to look, not every system is going to look the same, because not every life is the same. But ask for help. If you can't find it from family, then get it from a friend who you can, give time to in some other ways. I have friends who are very involved in helping me with my kiddo, and that's a huge blessing. So create those support systems for yourself, however you have to do it, because you do need support. There's the saying, the title of the book, of Hillary Clinton's book, It Takes a Village. It takes a village. And a lot of us don't have villages pre-built for us. So you're going to have to create your own village in order to find this time for yourself. By the way, I just want to mention that I am going to be, in the next 2 months, I'm going to be doing a free training on mastering your morning. I feel like it's a great, my flagship course is called Harness the Power of Planning. I like to do it at the beginning of the year because it's a great way to think about, your year. Right now, we're in August. I want to help you with tomorrow. And so the Master Your Morning training, I've never done it before. It's going to be a new training. It's going to be totally free. It's going to be live, so you can ask me questions. And I don't have a sign up page for it yet, but I will create one. And so if you go to this podcast when it goes up as the Harness the Power of Planning podcast, episode 166, you can find it there. You can sign up for a time. You can attend it more than once if you want to. Sometimes I do that when I check out these free trainings. I attend them more than once because sometimes information lands on you slightly differently. And especially since it's live, I will say it slightly differently every time. So join me for Master Your Morning. I'm excited to create this training that I feel like can help people really quickly, right away, get out of overwhelm, get out of burnout, and feel the calmness that can be a part of your life when you harness the power of planning, which is why that's the title of my podcast. That's the title of my flagship course, Harness the Power of Planning, because I know that planning is one of the best tools. And it's not just I know this, the brain science shows this. It's one of the best tools for managing one's anxiety, because a lot of anxiety, and again, I'm not a doctor, I don't play one on TV either or on the internet. I have found that a lot of my anxiety comes from not knowing what's happening. But when you harness the power of planning, you move from a place of not knowing to a place of knowing what's happening. Even if it's not perfect, at least you have a plan to follow. So join me for Master Your Morning. You can find this podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Like I said, the sign up page will be on episode 166, and it'll be on the next, few episodes as I'm doing this for the next couple of months. So join me for Master Your Morning, and be sure to like and subscribe wherever you listen. Thank you for joining. And remember, planning makes everything